I'm more of like a non-confrontational type of person, and I just like hated it, and it forced me to grow.
My baby is my greatest blessing, but she's also the biggest change I've ever experienced in my life.
Old lady cleaning the bathroom, and we're just like, oh, we got a maid, you know, like, you're not my roommate. She was my roommate.
I do need for him to, you know, be able to control his emotions and control himself and not just want to pop off.
To know that you got me. If something goes down, I don't need you pushing me towards the danger.
I don't know if it was like a big lizard or a little iguana.
It got me.
Real?
It ate me. We're done because I'm passed out. Crystal, what were you saying?
We were talking about like annoyances of like online dating. And so I was like, I looked in the area that I'm in and I was like, what year is this? Because I'm confused about what I'm looking at. Yeah, like the craziness is like we can't dress regular. It looks
and the
like
age of people, you would think that at this age they be on something a little different and not be showing, you know, bottles of whatever they drinking, whatever they smoking. What are we doing?
But to me, for them to have so many pictures or so many people doing it, you have to have some females that's entertaining it, because if not, like, why are you still doing it? And then it's just, I think they are putting like the wrong age, because a lot of them are not the age that they say they are. They try to a lot of, you know, you can put an age cap on it. And so for them to get a younger female, they can't be too old because they're not going to be able to message that female. So, yeah, that them having masks on their face so you can't see who they are, or shades. And then what I realized too, a lot of them they'll put their picture on while they're online.
Excuse me.
But they're not online. No, because that means you're hiding something. If you can't leave your profile picture on the whole time,
It's like, yes. And then one of them was like, his name was Nephew. No.
Choke me up. Excuse me.
We're too old for it. I ain't gonna say we're too old, but it's kind of like it's the age, it's the time frame again. What year is this? And I was like, I don't feel like my standards are like, you need to be driving a specific car, you need to have all this. Just be like, where's regular at? Where is regular and normal?
Right. But you know, a lot of them will say on there that they're not looking for anybody is out having fun. And then there's a lot of scammers. If you realize a lot of people that say they're in the military, they're not really in the military. They are scammers.
How do you know that? How do you learn that?
Like within a few conversations, they'll tell you, oh, well, you know, do you want to get off here? Do you want to talk somewhere private? Or are you on Google Duo or like some type of other chat? Like they don't want to chat on there. And then you be like, no, or they'll say that they're in the military, or they'll give you some sob story, like their girlfriend cheated or their wife cheated. And they'll say, well, I'm out serving. I'll be back in a year. It's always the same stories. And you could tell that they're using some type of script, because if you're asking them questions, it's like they can't sway from that script. Like they're going to ask you the same questions. And even if you ask them a different question, they're going to re-answer it or re-ask you so they can answer the question that they have an answer for. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm just so shocked. Like, what? It's like, so what is the point of online dating? And okay, so then for me, I'm not really out and about much, but when I am out, I'm usually like with my parents or with my dad when we go to like the next bigger city. So I'm out, guys look at me, then they look at my dad, and then they keep walking. So they probably don't know if he's my dad or if he's my boyfriend. And I'm like, you over here blocking. I need you to go somewhere, because he's looking at them too. So I'm like, don't
Oh
even look
wow.
at them because they can't even like try. I can't get no extra attention if you try to stare them up and down. That's another reason they keep walking.
Yeah. And it's like the conversations, they don't have the patience. Like, they just, to me, nobody wants to have a conversation anymore. And the people that do, they got girlfriends or they're married. It's
I
very,
think I think that's what it is. I think that's like the guys, if they already have someone, they're not as in big of a rush because they're getting it from someone on a regular. So they have all the patience
Oh.
in the world to just talk to you and Kiki and everything else. But the guys who are trying to, that are not in a relationship, they're trying to get to it as quick as possible because that's what they are wanting.
Oh,
yeah.
that makes so much sense, Crystal.
It was this guy I talked to. It was like, for him, conversation, like, he kept me laughing, but he was open. He said that he was in some type of situationship. He never asked me not for my number, anything like that. But I'm like, okay, at what point is this gonna end? Because I'm like, it's kind of wasting my time. Like, you was entertaining me at one point, but
Right.
I'm like, not fair to the person you with. I don't want anything to come back on me by me entertaining you, because while you talking to me, because he worked at night, so a lot of times I'll be up and we're talking. It was innocent, but that's how it always starts. So I'm like, how many other females are you talking to? And I'm like, in my mind, that's why a lot of guys can't talk to the girl that they're with, because you're conversating with other people. But I want you to be able to, when you bored, text me. Maybe if I ain't sleep, but that's besides the point.
No, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, it makes sense. Why would you not give that attention to the person that you're with? Like, what is it? They just get bored, or
Yes,
they like to have options or
because my
something?
best is the guy best friend. He told me he has a girlfriend, and he said that he, dates online, and he's like, it's out of boredom. But he said he let them know, hey, I have a girlfriend. I'm not leaving her. And it's just, I just want friends. And I asked him, I'm just like, well, why you just don't conversate with them? And he was just like, it's just something to do. It makes no sense, but that was his reason.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm just confused as to how did we get here? Like why are we here at this point where people it's more fun to play the game than it is to be real?
Yeah.
Do you think it's always been like that? And just now that there's a different medium, it's like a little more in our faces, just like everything else.
For me, I feel like what if it's age? What if when you're younger, it's one particular thing, and this is just what happens when you get older? Like, what if that's just a part of life in the different stages of life? So maybe it has always been like that, but we were at a different age where we were worried and focusing on other things, maybe. I don't know.
Um, I kind of feel like it may be a little of both. I think if we were in a relationship, we still probably wouldn't know. And I think it's because we're not, in times that have changed. I think it's just more exposed because, you do have dating sites that are a little bit more visible, and you see everyday people, whereas before it was a little bit more hidden because you wasn't on the dating site and coming across people profiles. They were just in the offices, or co-workers or friends, and keeping it hush hush. But now you have a variety of people you can talk to versus a handful of people.
Yeah, and I also feel like people are more dismissive than they used to be. So it's kind of like, the slightest thing is like, oh, you didn't call me, you didn't text me back or call me back at a certain time. So I'm done. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
it too. But it just depends on how I feel, especially if I'm in one of those moods and I'm like, what you think this is? You think I'm gonna sit there and wait on you?
Right. Yeah. And but to me, it has its perks because it's easier for me. It's like you're looking at a catalog full of guys. And you get to just pick out like, nope. Because it's like you be looking at one item or a guy and you be like, okay.
Did she call him an item?
That's how it feels. It really feels like that.
Okay. Oh, next. And you don't even have to talk to them. You don't even have to, go through this whole conversation. You know about their profile. It ain't what it is.
And to me, I feel like that's the gimmick. It's more about just being on the app and not about actually talking to people. That's what I don't like about it, because it's too comfortable. It's too comfortable for it to feel like an item, like you say, like you kind of enjoy it to dismiss people, to be like, no, you, like there's an enjoyment with it. And I think guys also take it a step further, where they just swipe on everybody and then see who swiped yes on them, and then they pick from that.
Wow. Because I don't buy nothing. Like, I'm not buying no extended to see who like at the end of the day, if we match, we match. If we don't, we don't.
Yeah, that was my thing. I just was kind of confused as to why grown people have money and bottles of alcohol and like old school vehicles, like,
Yeah.
and not even like clean, nice vehicles. These are
Mm-mm.
just like, I'm like, what in the world?
And maybe this is just me, but I don't like to see people with their pets.
No. And I don't get that either. They do. And then they be crossed down with them too. So it's not like you just taking a picture. And honestly, I don't want to see you in group photos either, because who am I looking at? Like,
true.
Have to show me a picture of everybody. I'm interested in you. I can get to know Billy and Billy Bob later, but right now I'm just looking at you.
Yeah, like I wonder if they would even care. Like if we say we don't want to see shirt pictures with you without a shirt on, would they even care? Because I think it's not about us. I think it's about what they want to show us. Because I'm like, I know no female have told you they like this picture. I know they haven't.
No, and I think for them, they feel like they have so many options that your opinion don't matter. Like, who are you? They just unblock you, unmatch or whatever, and move on.
And that's kind of how I'm starting to feel. It's kind of like, well, this where we at. And because somebody recently blocked me, and
Ooh.
in the past, I would have been like,
oh, how did what did you
block you too.
But what?
Well, I'll have to come back to that. But in the past, it's like, well, I'm gonna block you too. Like, this is where we at. But I actually sent him another text message after the fact. Because in my mind, I'm like, he's not gonna be mad at some point. He'll get over it. He got his feelings. Like, it is what it is. It's life. Because in my mind, like, if he would have texted me back, I would have just been like, it be like that sometimes. And like, kind of like how guys are. It's kind of like, we're just friends. I'm not trying to be your wife. I'm not looking at you as a husband. Either we're gonna be friends or not. We had a good time. We in the movie theaters playing and laughing. Like, I enjoyed it. Why we just can't have fun? I don't care that you mad. What they got to do with anything? I ain't trying to be your wife.
So how was you able to send a message if you were blocked?
Oh, he just didn't get the message. So what happened was, yeah. So I called him and it went straight to voicemail. And I know that he did not return my phone call or my text. He didn't text me to do something from before. So I just assumed I was blocked because I hadn't heard from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
But they think doing something when they block.
But if they block you first, that means you're the winner.
That's what I said. I was like, so I like that.
If they block you first, you're the winner.
That mean they in their feelings.
Yes. That's why I block people. I block people because I be in my feelings. And so if I don't really like you, I don't have to block you. I can see your number and just not answer. But if I really kind of have a feeling about you, I'm gonna have to block you because I can't see your number.
If you call, I might answer.
I feel like I might have a weak moment. I done offended them. Something happened to their grandma. Let me go ahead and answer this call because I know they had a good excuse as to why I hadn't heard from them.
I want them to have a good excuse. Exactly. So I can keep talking to them.
Exactly.
Even though I know I shouldn't.
Exactly. It'd be something like, oh, I didn't get your call. Come on now. Come on now. But I don't know, like I said, I feel like that's my mind frame right now. It's more of just why we just not gonna be like, I'm not trying to be long term with you. So you and
I
your
mean, but
sister.
honestly, it seemed like most guys these days would appreciate that mindset. You know what I mean?
No, guys want to be control they want you to be waiting on them, and they want to think that if you're going to play this role, and oh, I need you, please text me back and call me back, and please don't mistreat me and do all that. That's what they want, the damsel in distress. They
Oh,
don't want, yeah, they don't want the whole, oh, let's go with the flow, and if you need to
wait,
go
you
MI,
can't have a flow. I got a flow. You
yeah,
can't have a
Right.
flow. Yeah.
yeah. And I told him that too, because we went out, and I told him that at the movies, and I was like, yeah, most guys don't like to hear that. He was like, if I know that's what it is up front, then I'll be prepared for it. He kind of sounded like he had gotten his feelings at that point too, but I was like, I
Because
only
that's the
know
type of
you.
stuff we say. Well, just, and I say that all the time. Like, tell me what it is and then let me decide.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think we all have to do what is best for us.
Yeah.
Ultimately, yes, we do.
But I'm like, honestly, it's dating online, dating in person, dating by friends. It's about the same.
I will say I felt like I had a bigger variety in a bigger city. I felt like there were more things, more people that were more acceptable. Like you sift through the acceptable, there was a
Mhm.
bigger pool of acceptable. Here, there's a smaller pool of acceptable.
Yeah. And
Well, I
see,
mean,
for
that just makes sense, right? You were closer to a big city. Obviously, it had way more people, different variety of people. Whereas, I mean, honestly, I could see why you would get a lot of the same where you're at.
I feel like it's some shade in there though.
It might be.
you running across more people that wanted to get married, or just more people that like, because it seemed like you would have found more people that just be like, okay, cool, you just want to have fun, okay.
That's what I just said while you were gone. I said that. I
Oh,
literally was like, you would think more people would be open to the idea of let's just, more men, I should
yeah,
say.
because that's what I see a lot. Like they just be like, not looking for a relationship, just looking to have fun, or looking to take you out to eat and just get a couple of meals or something.
But then you also miss what Chris are we all frozen? No, but then you miss what Crystal said, where it's like, yeah, no, I want to be the one to set that boundary, but
Oh,
I also want you to want more, and for me to be able to tell you, oh no, not at this time. This is what, we was clear from the jump. So, but if you like, oh, you got plans today, me too. We'll holler, whenever we get a chance. That doesn't work.
All right. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and leave your online dating tips of what you hate or dislike below. So maybe we missed something, or if you got some tips on how to sift through people, let us know that as well. You can hit us up on all the social media: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everything at The Melanated Opinion. You can email us at themelanatedopinion@gmail.com. And that's going to be it. Thank you for watching.